I thought in general, which is kind of usual as you get more install and you put shoulder pads on, I thought the defense probably outplayed the offense today. I think that, if you're looking for maybe a defensive MVP so far outside of the names, you would think of Nikel and TJ and those type of guys. Demetrius Wright so far has had a great camp on special teams and defense. Made a ton of plays, phenomenal attitude, great approach to the game, and that's great to see. A guy going in his third year that really seems to have turned the corner.
Is that a spot where you might rotate him and Jawanza?
Yeah, we'd love to. If you could get, if we could get to the point where we had depth that we were confident in, and you'd rotate on special teams and on defense, so you're fresh all the time. That's where we want to get someday, and that's why we also added 2 safeties, that had played before in the off season.
How'd you think they did with the Heat today?
Just okay. I thought it was probably what you'd guess. The frontline guys, for the most part, were fine with it, and the second-tier guys struggled with it, which would be the same as day 3 install of red zone. Frontline guys get it, and we have to develop our depth, whether that's learning playbooks, whether that's alignments, whether that's making plays, whether that's handling adversity with Heat, which really wasn't Heat today. So we've got a long ways to go.
Barkley said he felt a little drained today, and obviously the Heat's a factor in that. How do you think his approach has been different than years past?
I don't think his approach has really been different for the most part. I think that that draining comes from, we did come out already once today out on the turf over there, which was hotter. So even though it's a walkthrough, it was almost like sweating twice a day. And so we just got to do a good job of hydrating and keep pushing.
Well, how do you size up the battle for the number 3 wide receiver job at this point?
Flournoy right now would be way ahead, because of knowledge of the game. George Farmer hadn't done anything, so we wouldn't know with him. And Nelson's working hard. He's still just trying to learn it. So Flournoy again is having, just like spring, he's doing really well, very consistent. Once again, there's 2 guys standing, which has kind of been the common theme in that position, with him and Marquise.
Any backup quarterback showing himself more than another?
I think both guys are doing well. I think, Max has gotten bigger and stronger in the offseason. Cody has really improved on a big area of concern, which was lengthening his stride, getting away from the line of scrimmage, being one of the shorter guys we've had before. So it's good to see, and you can tell they're both improved.
Are you pretty much every other day one of them gets the second reps? Is that?
Yeah, we just rotate. We rotate throughout the day, actually, by drill. So at the end of the day, and certainly by the end of the week, it should be evened out.
Do you foresee going into the season with a number 2 guy designated, or do you think it's going to be more of a week-to-week thing?
I would foresee having a number 2. I wouldn't know how to do it the other way with reps, because there's just not many reps to go around for backups once you get to the season. So I would sure think we'd have a number 2.
Are you concerned about Mike linebacker at all? I was concerned last year until Lamar Dawson clicked for him, but there's less depth and less experience there this year.
Yeah, we are. With Scott Starr not being very experienced in there, Will Andrew, even though he's been around for a while, hadn't played very much. So, we kind of have some other plans too. If we got in desperation mode where Hayes would go inside and Anthony could play outside. So we'll keep working the guys that we have and figure it out.
Do you think George Farmer is going to be back tomorrow?
I don't know.
A couple of the teams in conference have gone off campus for training camp. Is that something that you've ever considered, and what do you think is the benefit to doing something like that?
At the Raiders for years they did it. They go away, and I don't think we'd ever do it, especially now with this facility and the convenience of it, and all the resources put into it. Especially with us on both, we have school on both ends, which I don't know that everybody else does. We still have guys finishing up school right now, and then at the end of camp, we start school before our opener. So it'd be pretty hard for us to do, and I don't think we really need to do it.
From what you've seen from Josh Schott so far, it's the first time you've seen him on the field, do you think he can play a role on defense this season?
I think so. I think definitely on special teams, hopefully on defense. We're still got a long ways to go. We haven't tackled yet. But he sure moves around really well. And another very serious guy is his approach to the game.
Is it going to be hard? You have 3-4 safeties competing for that one spot. All fairly fairly similar. There's no one guy who's totally different from the others. Does that make it hard to rotate them in at times?
I don't think so. I think what we'll probably do is as we develop confidence and more safeties, we'll probably just look at the game as overall snaps, combine defense and special teams, and figure out where can we take snaps, off of TJ, and get things more evened out so that we can play at a high level in all areas.
Can you tell us why Andre Walker was out today?
I don't discuss injuries.
What is sort of the long? Go ahead.
Is heat, dehydration, that kind of stuff, is that regarded as an injury, or is that just
It's dehydration.
Okay,
Dehydrated right now.
Okay, so it's not related to that. Okay.
What if, let's hypothetically, if Andre were out for a while, what's the long-term contingency plan at that position?
Andre were out for a while. Nate would be there right now. You could flop Kevin back over there because he's had some reps over there. But I would say if you did it today, Nate would be over there probably. Because it's not like if you flop Kevin, you have a right tackle who's played, so you'd be double swapping.
Did you plan on having Graff at all play left tackle? I saw he was in there for a play or two. Was that part of today's practice plan?
No, he just did it. There was a play that Nate didn't know yet what we hadn't installed that we were running for the defense, so he flopped him over there.
What have you thought? Go ahead.
Have any of the freshman linemen stood out?
Linemen.
Yeah.
I think Max Turre, you're talking about both sides. Well, there's only one on defense, and that's Leonard, and he's doing really well. Really, you can see that he's got a high upside. I think he'll be really good eventually, whenever that is. I think Max Turre has done really well. Approach to the game, very few mental mistakes, and I think he's got a really bright future. I think those two guys have stood out so far.
What position do you think for Max?
He's a right now. He could be a left. So I think he can play both.
What about the freshman cornerbacks? It seems like they're not shy at all about sticking their nose in there.
No, I think they're both physical players. It's good to have some length. We've been short here for a while at that spot. To have two guys that are 6 foot half an inch, 5'11" and 3/4 come in is good for us. And whether that shows right now, I think eventually as they learn the system and get their feet on the ground, that'll help us.
I'm sure. Are you looking at more as a guard or tackle?
Tackle.
And would you hope that he would play or redshirt this year?
We hope everybody plays. We don't really think about redshirting guys until we have to, so that we continue to push them and expect them to play. Because if you start thinking guys are redshirt, you get a couple injuries, and pull them out of it, and the mindset's not right. So we challenge them all to be ready to play.
You had Marcus Martin last year. Didn't expect the way he played. Is Max at that point where he could be at the level, say, of Marcus, that you could plug him in if you had to?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we're in day 3. We haven't really done very much.
Let's do one or two more.
I would say Max is a long way ahead of Marcus, where Marcus was. If we were to be of that mindset, like the previous question whether you redshirt, most people would have told you that Marcus was going to redshirt. He was a long ways away at the beginning of camp. And so, like I said, you guys are like me. You try to figure everything out right now, but we haven't tackled anybody. We haven't put pants on yet. So whatever we're feeling right now is probably going to change a lot by the time we play again.
Are you guys